Hello there and welcome back to the channel. So what am I going to look at today? Well, a video or two ago I looked at Modelo's non-alcoholic beers, and seeing as we are still leading up to Christmas, let's look at two others. Probably the two that you would generally find in most bars, as they're from the Heineken brewery. So, cerveceria as we know it here in Monterey. And these are probably the most popular ones that you'll find in many bars here in Monterey. So let's give them a try, shall we? Even though I have tried them before. So the two are Tecate 0.0, totally devoid of any alcohol, and so too is Heineken's 0.0, also devoid of any alcohol. Let's hope they're not devoid of any flavour, but I'm not hoping for a great outcome. So we'll start with the Tecate. It's always quite odd. I mean, on the Modelos, they didn't have this phrase, bebida no alcoholica, non-alcoholic beverage. So, let's see how it looks when you pour the thing. Okay. One thing you notice with the Tecate is, compared to the Modelos, which had a head, yep, you can see it disappear before your eyes. And colour-wise, it's so-so. It looks a little like the normal strength Tecate in colour, except for the head. But then nobody who drinks this stuff, or beer in general in Monterey, will actually pour it into a glass. The heathens. Anyway. What is that aroma? It's a kind of mustiness. Certainly no aroma of beer. Well, it does say that it's a bebida no alcoholica, so it doesn't purport to be beer. It's a rather odd flavour. A little chemically. There's a like chemical characteristic to it. A little sweet, and with a totally inoffensive taste. I wouldn't say flavour, I'll just say taste. You might kind of notice from my face and my reaction there, this is not nice at all. Whereas with the Modelos, I think you could probably enjoy two of them, maybe three at a pinch. One of these is certainly enough. Yeah, it's got this sweet flavour, kind of sickly almost. And the flavour is just nothing. I don't know what the flavour is. It's not a pleasant one. Yeah. If you're going out in your car, stick to a Topo Chico, or maybe just drink Coca-Cola. And if you do plan to go out, just take an Uber. And if you are a Tecate drinker, then just drink a normal Tecate. or 2, or 3, or 4. Well, you are in a taxi, so no problems with license loss. But this stuff, what's the point of it? What kind of brewer would say, look, we've come up with this great idea for a beer, let's market it. Did anybody taste it before and kind of say, this is pretty crap stuff. I don't think we should release it or let it escape on the public, really. No. That I do not like. In previous taste tests with other beers, I've used sometimes the same glass for 1 or 2 different beers, and you always get a lacework of the foam sort of clinging to the glass. But look at that. No lacework at all. It looks just like there's been water in it. And I'm sure Tecate 0.0 is as close to water as you're likely to get. So, let's see how Heineken compares. I mean, Heineken did used to be a very good beer. I did used to like a nice Heineken. It could reach the parts that no other beer could reach, to quote the advert. And it's not nearly as good as it used to be. And the Heineken brewery in Britain has kind of reduced its alcohol strength and closed down some very good iconic breweries in the UK. So let's have a look at this, shall we? Oh well, a little more of a head on this compared to the Tecate Zero, and the same kind of colour, very pale. There's a slightly different aroma, again musty, but with something else there. Well, actually not really anything there. And as you can see, in a short time, the head's just disappearing. Whereas the Modelo's, you have at least a centimetre of head lasting throughout the drink. Shows the brewing quality of Modelo's zero alcohol is better than Cerveceria's. Sorry, somebody delivering Uber. What is that? It doesn't resemble beer whatsoever, rather like the Tecate. If you want to damage your brewery's reputation, make something like this, because it is absolutely terrible. It's awful stuff. There's some weird flavour in that. Again, has that chemical quality. And again, it's just such nasty stuff. Oh, you have to be desperate to drink this stuff. Crikey. I think stick to water. That is... Oh, there are so many negative words I could use to describe this. Most of those I cannot broadcast and say to people of a nervous disposition. But, pardon me. It's a non-alcoholic beverage, as it says on the can. But yeah, don't get one of these. Again, most of the bars in Monterey tend to be run by Heineken and Cerveceria, but don't do it. If you want something that's without alcohol, go for a Coke. Go for something else. Just don't do it. Don't order one of these. You'll be sorry. Oh dear. What rotten examples of non-alcoholic beer. And there is this craze for alcohol-free beers across a lot of Europe. I mean, Germany, surprisingly, has many of its breweries now producing alcohol-free beers. I don't know what it is. It seems to be the Gen Z and the younger generations seem to be going away from alcohol. I mean, you even get a Guinness without alcohol. Guinness without alcohol? How can such a thing be? But here in Mexico, and I'm going to be trying them in due course, probably in the new year, there's a brewery in Mexico called Sans, and all they make is alcohol-free beer. And they have a stout, and they have some other interesting-looking ones. It'll be interesting to see what their range is like. Hopefully, better than these two things that I drank. I can't call them beer. I just have to say things. And there's a lovely joke at the bottom of this Heineken can, which says, pure malt quality. Well, there's certainly no flavour of any malt in this. I don't think it's ever been near a grain of barley in its life. But quality and pure has a flavour of chemicals. There's certainly no quality attached to this stuff anyway. So, this is going to be interesting. How would I rate these two things? Well, Tecate was maybe a 4. And the Heineken, a 3. There was just something about the Tecate, if there was anything, that is just a little above Heineken. I think you expect, Heineken, it should be nice, their attempt at alcohol-free beer, and then you taste the stuff. Why did they do it? Anyway, yeah. So much lower than the scores I gave for the two from Modelo, actually. Maybe it's because they didn't take out every single hint of alcohol. They stayed at 0.4, which is acceptable. Something that you're not going to have problems if you get stopped by the police. But why go down to absolute 0 in these? I don't know. Oh well, I won't be buying those again, and I think I'll ward people off ever buying one. I'll just say, buy Topo Chico. So, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe from those buttons down below. And I will do another beer tasting as we head on to Christmas. But definitely not ones without alcohol. Especially not these things anyway. Bye for now. See you soon.